everybody, and welcome back to United Stand. Today we are talking about Erik ten Hag's dream summer transfer window, the perfect summer transfer window for Erik ten Hag, and how we would achieve that. We're going to have to sell some players, who would be the ideal signings, what are the priority positions, who we've been linked to. That is all coming up on today's video. And also, I'm going to have my opinion, you're going to have your opinion, so make sure you get your thoughts down in the comments. If there's someone I've missed out who you think Manchester United should desperately go and buy, if there's some indifferent position that you think should be more of a priority, get your comments in down below. But I want to get off straight and foremost with the player that we're going to have to buy. I think it's a must-have, whether the Glazers, God forbid, are still in charge. Hopefully the sale and the takeover will be done by them, but if they are still in charge, I still think we have to go for this type of player. If it's Sir Jim, we have to go for this type of player, and if it's Qatar, we're definitely going to have to go for this type of player. I think it is a non-negotiable, and the non-negotiable is a goal-scoring number 9, a striker that's going to come in at the top level and be able to score goals week in, week out in that Manchester United team. And for me, it's either going to be Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen. There's some other shouts in there, absolutely. But I think these are the two main targets that Manchester United have been linked to the most and do seem like the most realistic. We've obviously done a video on Kane and Osimhen previously, so go and check that out if you haven't already. Really interesting. You'll know from that I am more on the team Osimhen, but Kane is a brilliant addition as well. Both players will come in and make an immediate impact into Manchester United. Both are top-level strikers that are going to come into this team and instantly make it better. We're in desperate need of a goal-scoring number 9. Weghorst, you can talk about his pressing stats all day long. He's not good enough to play up front for Man United. Anthony Martial is so injury-prone. I think one of the most injury-prone players we've had at Manchester United. He's not available. Rashford's perfect on the left side of the forward line for Manchester United. So we literally don't have someone who can play at the elite level for Manchester United, goal-scoring number 9 right now. Either of these players can come in and massively improve the team. There's been talks of Gonzalo Ramos. I know, I've heard you. Gonzalo Ramos has a release clause of 130 million for Benfica. We're not going to do that. We're just not going to do that. So I think that rules that out. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think that rules it out. Vlahovic, he's definitely another good option from Juventus. For me, not on the same level as Osimhen or Kane. Not quite on that level, but Vlahovic would definitely be a good shout. And then also there's talks about maybe an Ivan Toney. We won't go near him after he's betting. I absolutely love Ivan Toney. I think he'd be brilliant in Manchester United. I just don't think Manchester United will go and do that deal after the stuff that happened with his betting. Then also you've got Benjamin Sesko, who is, we spoke to Romano, the plan is to keep him there another year at Leipzig, up his price, and then potentially do a move to the Premier League. But I doubt this summer that he'll be on the card. So that's why I narrowed it down to Osimhen or Kane. And for me, it's going to be big money. No matter who's in charge, you're going to have to spend big money. Osimhen, I think it's going to be 120, 130 million. You're looking at euros. Kane, dealing with Daniel Levy, you're looking, for me, I think 90 to 100 million, even with a year left on his contract. That's how much of a hard bargain Kane's going to be at Tottenham. We know the way he just wouldn't let him go to Manchester City. It will be a hard bargain. It's going to be a lot of money. And therefore, if we're blowing basically all the transfer budget on the striker, because, I mean, if Qatar don't come in and clear all the debts, we have to deal with financial fair play in a little bit of a stricter way as well this year than what we used to. So we need to sell players. And I think we can definitely get some money for these players. You see up on the screen here, obviously not all of these players are going to go. I would definitely keep Wan-Bissaka in there. Wan-Bissaka's been brilliant. Elanga would probably go on loan. Fred, I would also keep as well. But you look at all the players and what money you could get for them. I look at Alex Telles, looking at 10. Donny van der Beek, we've got there 20 million. Harry Maguire, 30 million. Martial, will he stay, will he go? I think he'll end up staying, but he's definitely one that's up for debate. Scott McTominay, rumoured to go to Newcastle for 30 million. Axel Tuanzebe, I mean, Phil Jones, I'll let him go for a can of Coke. I mean, and then Dean Henderson as well. If we're looking at getting a new goalkeeper in, he could definitely get sold for a fair amount. So I think here you can definitely drum up to from like 75 to nearly 100 million pounds, euros, whichever way you want to put it. Obviously, euros is a little bit more, but I'd probably say 75 to 95 million, 100 million pounds, I would say you can get if you sell these players correctly. Of course, we are really poor at selling players, so don't quote me on that. But if we do business right, we can definitely get a fair amount for squad players that are just not going to become under use under Erik ten Hag. And the reason that these prices have jumped for these players, and they're actually kind of in demand now, is because of what Erik ten Hag has done with his team. So say if you've got 70 to 95 million there in player sales, you move on to the next prime target, which for me personally has to be a midfielder. We need a number 8 desperately. And this guy pops up on the screen. The dream is not over yet. I mean, the dream is nearly over, I'm going to be honest with you. Spoke to Romano earlier on in the week. He said Frenkie de Jong still wants to stay at Barcelona. Erik ten Hag loves him, is the main priority, but nothing's changed on the player's side. He's obsessed with Barcelona still. And Frenkie, what I would say is, you came to Old Trafford, you experienced the theatre of dreams, you got beat, you're out of Europe. It's time to make a move. I mean, he'd be the perfect signing for Man United. We're in desperate need of a ball-carrying number 8. He gets the ball, transitions it from front to back so well. He moves at speed with the ball literally glued to his feet. We don't have a player that can transition as well as this guy can. We don't really have a ball carrier in the team. A proper out-and-out ball carrier that can do that job. He can defensively fit in next to Casemiro. He can also move his attacking attributes up into the forward line to contribute with Bruno Fernandes. He would literally be the perfect player. He's also outstanding in possession, and Erik ten Hag, we know, wants to build a possession-based team. Playing out from the back, we know Erik ten Hag wants to do it. He would be a massive asset. But sadly, it does look like it's just not going to happen, and sometimes you just got to accept it. The player doesn't want to come. It might not be on the case. And when I think about that, it worries me slightly, because I look at around Europe at the number 8s that would suit Manchester United and the way we want to play with Casemiro and Bruno. They are non-negotiables. They will still be in this team. And you're looking at slimmer options. Jude Bellingham's either going to go to Liverpool or City or stay at Dortmund or Madrid. I'm pretty certain he's not going to come to Man United. I mean, we all saw what he's been liking and stuff like that. I don't think he's going to come to Man United. I just don't think he will. Declan Rice looks like he's nailed on to go to Arsenal potentially. And is he the right kind of profile that we need anyway? I would say yes, but other people would disagree with that and say he's overpriced. And then I look at the options we have, and I've spoke about Sabitzer, I've spoke about Kudus as well. If you've not seen my video on Kudus, here's a plug for that as well. Go and watch that, because I know Kudus is more of a winger, calm, forward player, but it is possible that Erik ten Hag could potentially develop this player into a number 8 for Manchester United. His ball carrying is excellent, he's physically strong, his dribbling is amazing. He could potentially, if we play that kind of way where Bruno Fernandes drops in and plays as an 8 as well, we play with 2 8s in Casemiro, Kudus could be an option for that, definitely. It sums it up in my video that I've spoke about. So if you want to know more on Kudus, because he's a brilliant player, worked under Erik ten Hag before as well, look at that. And then you look at Sabitzer as well, and Sabitzer is kind of on loan right now, but we've not seen the best out of him. But there's rumours he definitely wants to stay at Manchester United, and Erik ten Hag seems to like the player, or he was an Erik ten Hag signing, he's on loan. So if you look at Sabitzer, he could be an option as well. But then if I say to you, if we get Sabitzer in, are you happy with Sabitzer and Eriksen and Casemiro and Bruno? Is the depth there with Fred? Are you happy with that? Is that enough? I don't think it is. I think we need someone else as well. I don't think he's maybe the full answer yet, but I've not seen enough of him to kind of say that. The bits I've seen, I think he's been brilliant. But I've literally seen him play with Casemiro for about 20 minutes in a cup final, in the Carabao Cup, and I thought he was brilliant. But I need to see more to see if it would be able to kind of come into fruition. But they're the options. There's also Lavia at Southampton that I've been looking at. He looks brilliant, 19 years old. He's been at City before. Could they potentially have a buyback option? I'm not sure. I couldn't really find much information on that. Southampton looks set to go down. He could be someone you could get in at a cheap price. Lavia looks brilliant. People are talking about Barella. I mean, we've looked at Barella, and for me, he's more of an attacking player. He's more of a forward player. I mean, you'd say that about Kudus as well. But I like Barella, but I don't know if it is the profile that we need. And then you look around, and I've not seen anything else that completely strikes me yet. So if you have any opinions, put them in the chat down below, and I'll definitely be sure to take a look. Mason Mount's been on the cards. Not many people are happy about that one either, but I think Mason Mount would be a good addition. But again, it wouldn't get me off my seat. It's not a brilliant addition. We need someone that's going to come in and be amazing, I think. And I don't know if anyone here I've mentioned there, it fits into the category of like a Frenkie de Jong or a Jude Bellingham. It just doesn't. But Man United have got to work with what they can go and get as well. And then next up, we have centre-back. I'm just going to be really quick on this one. Kim Min-jae, Jurrien Timber, they're the two players that we've kind of been linked with and spoke about. Kim Min-jae has a £42 million release clause that sets in July 2023. I would be going to Napoli. We're taking Osimhen. Also, by the way, we're getting Kim Min-jae in as well because he's unbelievable. The perfect Varane sort of kind of to take over Varane. And I'm not saying Varane needs taking over, but Varane and Martinez can't play every single game. Look at City and the way they rotate the centre-back sometimes. You need someone else that's going to be step in, and there's not going to be a drop-off. He's quick, he's strong, He's good on the ball. Kim Min-jae would be perfect for that. And he'd have game time, Varane would have game time, Martinez would have game time. I think he'd work with Martinez brilliantly. He's at a good age. Go and snap him up. Jurrien Timber can play right back as well. Getting him out of Ajax, I think you're looking at about 60 million, and you're looking at quite a lot of money, even potentially more than that. He's just signed a new contract, didn't he, at the end of last summer. Rumoured to go with him at the end, in last summer as well, but he kind of wanted to stay at Ajax and develop there. Louis van Gaal potentially got in his head and said, you're not going to have game time. I'm so glad that happened, because Martinez the Butcher is one of the best signings that we've had. Honestly, he's unbelievable defender. Can you really play 5'11" Timber and 5'10" Martinez, or 5'9" Martinez together in the Premier League? Obviously, Martinez's height isn't a problem, but can you play two of him? Martinez and Varane work so well together. At the end of the day, Maguire and Lindelof are not at the level that we need to be first teamers. Lindelof is definitely, I would keep for squad depth, but we need a centre back. These are the two options that I'd definitely be looking at. But for me, I'd be going with Kim Min-jae. He's just of a higher quality, in my opinion. I still like Timber, but of a higher quality. And last but not least, not a lot of people are going to be happy about this, but I'm still going to bring it up. It is the goalkeeper situation. We know, it's been rumoured that Erik ten Hag wants a goalkeeper that can play out of the back with his feet. It's been rumoured that Erik ten Hag when he came in last summer, one of his first priorities was to get a goalkeeper in that can play his style of football. But we just didn't have the money to do so, and he had to prioritise elsewhere. Obviously, we've got Costa. I did a video on Costa and Raya and De Gea, and kind of blew up a little bit, people talking about it. But Costa, he's got a release clause of 70 million. It's just not going to happen, I don't think, with all of the other signings we have to make this summer and the money that we're going to end up spending. Maybe under Qatar, if you're dreaming, it could happen, but we have scouted him. I just think it's too much money. But for me, as a cheaper option, obviously a year left on his deal and he's refusing to sign a contract for Brentford, he wants to move, is David Raya, and it's reported that you could get him out of Brentford for 15 to 20 million. I would be all over that. Premier League proven. I mean, if you've watched the video, if you've seen what I talk about Raya, I think if he goes to a top 6 club, he's going to be known as one of the best. Genuinely one of the best. He's at a good age. I don't think coming to Old Trafford would kind of knock him. We know young keepers sometimes when they come out to Old Trafford, it is a different ball game. I think he'd be able to deal with that. He's confident. He comes off his line. He can sweep. He's confident collecting crosses. He's a great shot stopper. He's amazing for Brentford. So that could definitely be a steal. And apparently Erik ten Hag likes the look of him as well. But get in the comments down below, would that be a good summer for you? I think it'd be an amazing summer. I don't think it's unattainable. The midfield kind of option does give me a slight worry, but I'm sure Erik ten Hag is already thinking about it, already is all over that and looking at who we could get in. But it does look promising for the summer. It's so important that we build a squad for Erik ten Hag. The journey is only just beginning, and if you add this to the summer, to that squad, it could be a really, really exciting season for us next year. Striker is obviously the main priority. It has to be done. It has to be done. But, I mean, the other positions are up for debate, but they're definitely the positions that we need to look at the most. But everyone, get in the comments down below who you would want, what positions are your priorities. And, yeah, make sure you hit a like on the video and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, everyone.